Hi, wherever you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. The first transatlantic flight using 100% sustainable aviation fuel was made between London's Heathrow and New York's JFK Airport yesterday by Britain's Virgin Atlantic. Did this bring the industry another small step closer to sustainable aviation? Those in the industry believe so, but there are many challenges to be overcome if sustainable aviation fuels, or SAF, are to become widely adopted. Today, SAF is a minuscule share of all jet fuel used. The flight, which the airline named Flight 100, demonstrated that sustainable aviation fuel was a safe drop-in replacement for the current fossil fuel-based jet fuel, compatible with today's engines, airframes, and fuel infrastructure, Virgin Atlantic said in a press release yesterday. Flight 100 proves that sustainable aviation fuel can be used as a safe drop-in replacement for fossil-derived jet fuel, Shai Weiss, CEO of Virgin Atlantic, said in the press release. SAF is made from non-fossil based raw materials, including plant and animal waste, and synthetic chemicals via industrial processes. That it can be a drop-in alternative means that it can be used with the existing commercial aircraft without any costly modifications to their engines, ground infrastructure, and so on. Virgin's Flight 100 was made by a Boeing 787 wide-body aircraft flying on Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines, according to the press release. In 2021, a group of 60 companies from the airline, transport, and cargo industries promised to ensure that 10% of all the jet fuel they used was SAF. And last year, the aviation industry set itself the target of reaching net zero status by 2050. SAF is made from waste products and delivers CO2 life cycle emission savings of up to 70%, whilst performing like the traditional jet fuel it replaces, according to Virgin's press release. Today, SAF represents less than 0.1% of global jet fuel volumes, and fuel standards allow for only 50% of SAF blend in commercial jet engines. That said, as things stand today, the aviation sector views SAF as a more viable alternative to electric motors and hydrogen-burning turbines, which it sees as being decades away from commercialization, according to the Virgin press release. CNBC notes that other airlines have used SAF on commercial flights, but on shorter trips and in up to 50% blends with regular fuel, which was the previous regulatory limit. Tuesday's flight was approved by the UK Civil Aviation Authority earlier this month. The SAF used on Flight 100 is a dual blend comprising 88% hydroprocessed esters and fatty acids supplied by Air BP, the aviation supplier division of BP, and 12% synthetic aromatic kerosene supplied by Virent, a subsidiary of US-based Marathon Petroleum Corporation. Earlier this year, the Royal Society, the UK's National Academy of Sciences, published a report assessing a variety of alternative fuels, including biofuels, and found that availability and accessibility are among the top problems. Monga Bay, a US-based non-profit conservation and environmental science news platform, notes in a July report. Very few of today's biofuels actually meet our needs for drastic reductions in emissions, according to the Royal Society's findings, Monga Bay reports. Biofuels made from oil crops with their current processes don't qualify. In 2022, aviation accounted for 2% of global energy-related CO2 emissions, having grown faster in recent decades than rail, road, or shipping. The International Energy Agency notes in its assessment of the industry. The IEA also currently views the aviation sector as not being on track to achieve net zero by 2050. And that's one thing today in tech.